The Xelvari had spent centuries as nothing more than an afterthought in the grand affairs of the galaxy. A peaceful, intellectual species, they had mastered science, art, and diplomacy, but they had never mastered war. In a universe ruled by brute force, it made them weak. The Zargath Empire saw them as little more than a resource to exploit. The Norkath raiders pillaged their colonies, taking what they wanted with impunity. Even the Galactic Council ignored their pleas for aid. They were scholars, healers, and thinkers, but never fighters. Their culture, their people, their very existence teetered on the edge of extinction. They needed an ally, a protector, someone ruthless enough to make their enemies hesitate. And so, in desperation, they sought out the only species feared by the entire galaxy. They sought out humans. First contact. The Xelvari envoy, Varlan, sat nervously in the dimly lit command center of the human warship Iron Fang. Across from him, a human commander leaned back in his chair, boots propped up on the table. Captain Elias Carter was not what Varlan had expected. The man was relaxed, his uniform slightly disheveled, his face scarred from battles that had long since passed. "You want our help?" Carter asked, raising an eyebrow. "You do know the Council calls us savages, right?" Varlan hesitated but nodded. "Yes, but we also know that you are fighters. You do not run from war. You do not kneel. That is what we need." Carter studied the Xelvari for a long moment before grinning. "You came to the right people." An unlikely alliance. Humans and Xelvari could not have been more different. Xelvari built cities that stretched toward the stars, elegant and untouched by war. Humans built fortresses, heavily armed, battle-scarred, and built to last. The Xelvari believed in diplomacy, always seeking peace before conflict. Humans, they thrived in war. Yet, despite their differences, the two species found something remarkable. They complemented each other. Xelvari scientists enhanced human weapons, making them deadlier than ever. Human engineers reinforced Xelvari starships, turning fragile vessels into war machines. For the first time in history, the Xelvari had an army, and their enemies had no idea what was coming. The first battle. The Zargath Empire had ruled the outer systems uncontested for centuries. Their fleets had crushed 100 species, their warlords unchallenged in their dominion. So when a Zargath fleet descended upon the Xelvari homeworld, they expected another easy victory. What they got instead was a massacre. The Zargath warships met human dreadnoughts, bristling with weapons far more destructive than they had ever encountered. Xelvari energy shields combined with human railguns shredded the enemy fleet before they even had a chance to retreat. On the ground, Xelvari forces, supported by human marines, fought like demons. The once peaceful scholars now had the fury of humanity on their side. The Zargath lost that day, and for the first time in recorded history, the unstoppable empire of the Zargath ran in fear. A reputation forged in fire, news of the battle spread across the galaxy. The Xelvari, once weak, now stood beside humanity. And suddenly, no one dared to underestimate them. The Norkath raiders, who had pillaged their colonies for generations, vanished overnight, unwilling to risk the wrath of human warriors. The Galactic Council, which had ignored their cries for help, now sought their alliance. The Xelvari had not changed. They were still scholars, healers, and diplomats. But now they had the respect of the most dangerous species in the galaxy. The final war. The Zargath, humiliated by their defeat, gathered their entire armada for one final attack. If they could not conquer the Xelvari, they would wipe them out completely. 1,000 Zargath warships descended upon Corthan V, the last stronghold before the Xelvari homeworld. The humans in Xelvari had half that number, but Carter wasn't worried. As the enemy fleet emerged from hyperspace, human warships did not retreat, they charged. Railguns fired, tearing through enemy shields. Xelvari disruptors disabled Zargath weapons. Human soldiers landed on the surface, leading Xelvari warriors into battle. It was a bloodbath. By the time the battle ended, the Zargath fleet was annihilated, their empire shattered, their warlords dead. And in that moment, the galaxy finally understood. The Xelvari were no longer weak, and no one disrespected their allies. A new era, in the years that followed, the Xelvari-Human alliance became one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. That they had not conquered through war alone, they had earned their place not through destruction, but through loyalty, resilience, and the right allies. They were still scholars, still diplomats, still a people of peace. But now, the galaxy listened when they spoke, because behind every Xelvari ambassador stood the warriors of humanity. And no one, not the Zargath, not the Norkath, no one, was foolish enough to challenge them again.